and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Cassie Amber and I'm a plant-based holistic nutritionist and WBFF bodybuilder. I'm competing in wellness and fitness in 3 weeks. Nearly time of the stage, which is super exciting. I had a bit of a hiatus on my account because I've just gotten back from New Zealand. I went on a business trip, I guess you could say. I got asked to DJ and host a nutrition workshop at an event called Naked in the Trees, which is exactly as it sounds, for a weekend out in nature. So something very different. I did my first 2 bass gigs in New Zealand, which was insane, a goal that's been on my mind for years because I didn't start DJing until after I moved to Australia. And then I just caught up with my friends and family as well. So I had 2 weeks off the gym and didn't do any filming and stuff in that time. While I was away, took my laptop in to get repairs on the keyboard because some of the keys have been sellotaped down for about 4 months and they wiped all my data. So I'd already filmed this video and another one after that about what's on my supplement shelf. So I was coming back to finish editing it because I've just been learning Premiere Pro and it's gone. So that whole day of filming, getting dressed, changing my hair, filming, getting dressed, changing my hair, filming, all for nothing. So I've been trying to improve how I deal with situations like that because the old me would be actual screaming and having a mental breakdown, but I think I was just too tired to care, and I try to get into the mindset of sometimes these things happen for a reason, and maybe this time round I'll film better, maybe the video will be shorter and to the point and I'll improve, so maybe it deleted for a reason. So I try to think of it like that. So I just filmed it again this morning, and because I'm using new equipment that's high quality that I don't know how to use, the microphone was redlining the whole time. So I've already just filmed this whole video and I can't use it again. So had a mini breakdown. I'm just like, oh, Cassie, okay, get in the zone. So 3rd time lucky, praying to the gods. So when things like that happen in business, I've had it before with my first podcast, not saving. That was an interview with a girl in America. I just try to think, do let out a few emotions, but just try to think, okay, maybe it's for a reason. Now at least I know how to use the microphone. Now this video might be better. I might explain things better, be more to the point. And yeah, everything happens for a reason. So today I wanted to do a video on which mock meat to choose and are they even healthy for you, because I see so much pushback online about how bad they are. I see people share a photo graphic of Beyond Meat patty versus a steak, and Beyond Meat obviously has all of these different long ingredients that you can't even pronounce, all these additives, preservatives, oils, things that aren't good for you, and then they say steak, the only ingredient is steak. Well, you don't actually know what goes on behind the scenes. So what about the hormones? What about the antibiotics? There's some really interesting videos I've seen. I'll link one in the description from Earthling Ed about how the animals, because they are in such tight living conditions, they're obviously prone to more disease. So they're fed antibiotics to fend that off, and also things like that. Some antibiotics can even put weight on the animal faster so they can sell them for more money. So they've been looking into, can this even create antibiotic resistance in humans in the future, which is a really interesting concept because that means that we're at more risk of disease if we go to hospital and we can't even get treated for things because of the meat that we're eating. So there's so much that goes into it, and no, vegetables aren't perfect. I don't even eat organic because it's so expensive. But when you look at meat, it's not just one ingredient. Even salmon is my favorite food. I'm not fully vegan. I just do 90 to 95% plant-based. They add coloring to it to make it pink because it's not actually pink. So it's not just the meat you see on the shelves. What are they doing there to keep it shelf stable? All the stuff they're feeding to the animal to fatten it up, all the hormones, saturated fat. There is so much more than meets the eye. So I wanted to do a little video to break things down and just show that yes, it can be a regular staple in your diet if you do want to prioritize protein. One common mistake that so many vegans make is they take the meat off the plate but they don't replace it with anything. So you can't just have white pasta and veggies. Switch to chickpea pasta, which is higher in protein, and then add some veggie sausage that might be tofu and herb based, or some seitan like vegan chicken, just to get that extra boost and actually make it a complete balanced meal again. So mock meats can be a great way to really help you meet your intake and just give a bit more variety in your food. So if you don't follow me on socials already, head to my Instagram or TikTok at Cassie Amber with 2 underscores. I post on there almost daily, lots of different things with fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, business, health, mindset. So I'd love to connect with you on there as well. And if you want to tune in while you're on your commute to work, or you're cleaning the house, or going for your walk to get your sunshine, you can tune into the Plant Powered podcast as well. That's where I share a lot of my YouTube videos. I just export the audio and they cross over onto the platform if you're driving to work and you want to still tune into my weekly episodes. And subscribe to the channel as well so you can stay up to date with all of the latest content. First up, what are the benefits of mock meat? So it does allow people to have a direct swap. There's been all this drama, I think it was mostly in the UK, where the farmers were getting upset that plant-based meat companies were using the words like sausage, like mince, if it's not from an animal, because it's not sausage or mince. So it's been quite a funny concept to think about. And the reason they do that is because, say if someone goes vegan, if it's some random name, how do you know what to even look for? So they just say like mince alternative. Yeah, they just use the words and like slightly spell it different. It's honestly no big deal. And the thing I always refer back to is, what about peanut butter? No one's packing a fuss about that, but it's not butter. It's also from a plant. So that whole thing was just so weird. Mock meat allows people to have more protein variety. As mentioned before, I don't want to eat tofu every single day. I do eat tofu for breakfast sometimes, and I like it marinated, I like it in the air fryer, but I don't want just tofu every day. So it just allows you to mix up your meals a little bit more. It allows you to have your childhood favorites and make your favorite foods, but no one has to die. That's another thing I always get asked, why are you eating vegan chicken if you can just have a free-range chicken? Well, then no one has to die for my plate. It feels more soul-aligned. It makes me feel better with my digestion internally. I just feel happier when I look at my plate. So you can taste without harming anyone. And mock meats are also great if you're cooking for non-vegans as well. If you want to go to a barbecue and you don't want to just eat lettuce leaves because everyone's eating their sausages, you can cook something still and join in and just take part like everyone else. So how to choose the right mock meat. The main things I always look for are just ingredients list, look for minimal ingredients and natural things that you can pronounce. So I'll go through some of the Australian brands that I see pop up regularly, some of the ones that I've tried and my take on the taste and texture of them. So this is in Woolworths and Coles usually. So first up is chicken. On the left hand side here we've got the corn pieces. This isn't vegan, it's only vegetarian because it does contain egg white, but it's made from mycoprotein, which is a fungus. It's not as bad as it sounds. Mushroom is a fungus as well, so it does actually have a really nice texture, and it's just got some natural flavour, onion and seasonings in there, so that's really nice for stir fries. I've also had it with just some satay sauce as a good way to boost my protein intake while I'm on prep as well. So it is actually really nice, that brand. The next one over is Sunfed. This is the cleanest brand that I've ever come across. All natural ingredients. It is the most expensive. I think it's around $11 a box for 3 serves. So yes, more on the pricey side, but it's only made from water, pea protein, extra virgin olive oil, pea fiber, yeast extract, and New Zealand pumpkin. No additives, no preservatives, no long names that you can't pronounce. It's literally so clean and really good to digest. Excellent source of protein if you're looking for a really clean option to make the switch as well. Next up is the plantain garlic Kiev. As you can see, extremely long ingredients list, and this is why I always say it comes down to the brand that you choose. Not all mock meats are bad, just some should be saved for a treat. So this one has a very long ingredients list. It is delicious but highly processed and should be saved for a treat. But I have tried them before. And when you cook it crunchy, you cut it open and it's got that delicious golden breadcrumb. And then you cut through the mock chicken and then it oozes out with garlic butter. That is pretty delicious. But you can feel the higher amount of oils and stuff if you do have a more sensitive stomach or if you're used to eating really healthy. But definitely delicious if you want to enjoy it every now and again. And then We've also got the Get Planted roast chicken. This one is my favorite mock meat for texture. It's really, really crispy. It is seitan based, which means it's made from wheat gluten. And this brand also does a roast duck or pork version. It's very high in protein at 20.2 grams per serve, and it's got 3.6 serves per pack. When me and my partner eat this, we actually just split the pack in half, so almost 4 serves. So let's say it's probably around like 35 grams per serve for the meal, basically. So really, really high in protein. And I've gone through this big journey with gluten and learning about my digestion and what feels good. And it's so different to just eating a crappy piece of white bread and eating low quality gluten that blows up my stomach and clogs everything up and makes me feel heavy and horrible. But personally, when I eat something like that, it's not too bad because I'm eating it with so many veggies as well. So it all depends on the type of gluten that you're choosing and how you balance out your plate, because light veggies and salad add a lot more fiber and things to help break it down, and it actually does feel really, really good to eat. So it's all about learning that journey for yourself and seeing what you can and can't tolerate. But I do really, really love the texture and flavor of that one. Last up for chicken, we've got the Meat Co. Tenders. This is made from soy and wheat protein. It's got some pea fiber, pea starch, natural flavors, iron, and B12. It's got a pretty nice texture, and it is in the freezer section of Coles, so it is a little bit more difficult to find. I only came across this one a few weeks ago actually. So if you're wondering where to even find mock meats as well, each supermarket is different, but sometimes in the meat section they'll have a plant-based meat section. Otherwise there'll be a tofu section with veggie patties and stuff like that, and then the mock meats next to it. Also, there's usually a part in the freezer where you can find it. So usually 3 different spots you can go to get mock meat. Next up, I'll be reviewing bacon. On the left-hand side, we've got the Sunfed brand. That is the cleanest brand that I mentioned before. The only ingredients are water, pea protein, cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, yeast extract, pea fiber, hickory liquid smoke, fermented red rice powder, which gives it that color, and citric acid. So it's the cleanest bacon I've ever come across. It's got a strong smoky flavor. It's great in pasta dishes or on sandwiches, and it does have a bit of protein in it as well. When comparing that to the next brand, the other one has a very long ingredients list with lots of additives. It's a lot higher in oil and calories. It is highly processed and should be safe for a treat, but it is cheaper for what you get in the pack. So it's still totally okay to have every now and again. Sausages. Just a little fun fact, the first time I ever tried a veggie sausage, I almost spat it out. I took a bite of it and I was like, who can even live this lifestyle? It just had such a gross texture, I thought at the time, and now I happily eat veggie sausages. So your taste buds do adapt and your digestive system does adapt over time, and now I actually really enjoy them. So have some patience if you're just making the transition. First up is the Veggie Delights hot dog. This one, I really enjoy the brand. It's fortified with iron and B12. The hot dog is like replicating a processed meat anyway, but still okay, like if you want to actually make hot dogs and stuff like that. The ingredients list isn't too bad. Everything you can basically pronounce. It's made from wheat and soy protein. It's got some rice flour, onion, tomato, garlic, sugar, chili spice, paprika, tapioca, which is a thickener, natural colors, and the minerals as well. In comparison to Being Supreme Rosemary, these ones are actually my favorite sausages. This would be my first choice out of any of the brands, and it's got 15.9 grams of protein per serve. It's tofu and herb based, so it feels really nice on your digestive system, and this is really good to add to, say, like pasta salads and stuff like that. So that would be my first choice if I'm getting a veggie sausage. Next up is the Unreal Co. Beefy Brat. These ones I personally didn't like. The ingredients list is a lot better than I thought based on the taste. I found it had a really fake taste, although it surprisingly has minimal ingredients. It has a plant-based sausage casing to make it more realistic, and it would be appealing for people who really love the taste of meat because of the rich flavor. So it's just made from soy and rice protein, potato, corn, a natural vegan brat spice mix, vegan egg replacer, some coconut oil, and a few other things as well. So I personally didn't like the taste, but yeah, people who love meat would probably prefer that option. And last up for sausages is the Nature's Kitchen Smoky Potato and Black Bean. Although I am plant-based and I love vegetables, I don't want a sausage that tastes like tiny pieces of vegetable. So it does yes, it is made from veggies, but it also does have a lot of additives in it as well, and I just found it had a really unpleasant vegetable taste and texture. But yeah, I wouldn't personally buy that one again. Mince. If you don't want mock meat, you can use textured vegetable protein, which some of them, when you buy at the supermarket, they come with a herb seasoning in them already. So you literally just add it to the bowl, add boiling water, and it cooks itself in 2 minutes in the boiling water. So that's a great option for people who want to steer clear of the more processed foods and have a more natural option. But if you did want to try some mince, first up is the bird's eye. I haven't personally tried this one myself, but it's found in the freezer section. It's high in protein at 23.1 grams per serve. It's got a source of iron, zinc, and B12, low in saturated fat, and no artificial colors or preservatives. Next up is Veggie Delight. I love this mince, hands down. It's my favorite one of all. So it's just made from soy protein and some herbs. It's also fortified with zinc, iron, and B12. I find this really good for women if you're coming up to your time of the month and maybe you're craving some red meat because of the iron and your body just wants a little bit more dense food. I'll always cook something with that mince, like a nice nachos or something. And just as a little treat, I'll give you my easiest recipe ever to make mince that you can use in lasagna, nachos, spaghetti bolognese, anything. So basic. So you just add a little bit of oil to the pan, a teaspoon of crushed garlic and ginger if you like ginger, 1 pack of Veggie Delights mince, 1 can of chili beans, 1 can of crushed tomatoes. Boom, done. So easy to remember and put together, so minimal, but just tastes amazing with the best texture ever. So give that a go if you're wanting something dense and hearty. So that is all for the brand comparisons. I would just like to invite you to my free 7-day plant-based challenge, which teaches you everything you need to know to get started on the journey. Maybe you are looking into a vegan or plant-based diet, but you don't know how to build your plate correctly and fuel your body with the right nutrients. I also go into a few of the things that happen behind the scenes in the animal agriculture industry that also affect our planet and our health. Or maybe you're already vegan or plant-based, but you want to see kind of where you're going wrong. Maybe you're not supplementing correctly. Maybe you're not getting the right balance of macros on your plate to actually support your physical needs and the gym and your work and your focus and things like that. So sign up for free in the link below. And last up, my plant-powered recipe app is coming. I always just sit down to eat dinner and then think, oh, I probably should have written that down and taken a photo. So I'm trying to be really intentional and record things as I cook them, take photos, so I've got enough content on there to launch it very, very soon. If you want to be the first to know when it goes live, head to the description below and sign up to my mailing list as well. That's going to have all of my best recipes to fuel your body for optimum performance. And I'm a really lazy girl cook, so I love things with minimal dishes, minimal ingredients, but still taste amazing and are actually good for you and help fuel your body as well. I'm also adding a comp prep hacks section because so many people go to their PT saying, hey, I want to compete or want to start at the gym, but I eat vegan, and they get just plain tofu with rice on their meal plan for days on end to repeat. Or so many beans to meet the protein requirements that it's actually horrible to digest and just boring. So I've created a section that little hacks that I've been doing to prep for my bodybuilding show and my cut. I actually lost fat on holiday. I don't know if you can see from this video compared to the last one, like I've only tracked food like 2 days in the last 3 weeks. I'm a few weeks out from the stage. And I've just noticed so much difference from prioritizing protein and just making a few little tweaks. So don't forget to sign up to my mailing list for that one and connect with me online to stay up to date with more daily things as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next week.